Dilly, just going off of last night, what was the most impressive, you think, about the way you guys sort of reacted from period 1 to period 2 and 3? And one of the things that some of the guys were saying is, that's us. That's who we are as a team.
Yeah, just like the way that we came back after the game in Philly. First period, very back and forth. It could have kind of gone either way, and just the way we kind of came together. We knew it was an important game. We knew it was a divisional game. A team that's taken a bunch of points off us over the first two matches, and just everybody played their part. It was really a full team effort last night. Everybody kind of had their hands on the game and in whatever role that they brought. And when you're able to, get a win where everybody contributed, everyone's feeling good today. Those are the best ones.
Did it feel more familiar in a sense of like who you guys are? So you know what I mean by that?
I mean, I don't think our identity for sure. We've got a lot of character in here. We've got a lot of, like, a tight knit group. Everyone really gets along well. It's fun to be a part of and in here for sure. And when things aren't going great, it's almost one of those things where you want to get wins just to get out of that and get the good feeling back in here. And our team, obviously speed and skill is a big part of it, and there's a few of us that bring that physicality aspect, and I think it becomes infectious. I think it becomes everybody feels a little bit more confident to compete and to get into those gritty areas, and I think that was kind of the moral of the story in both those games is you've seen a team when we do compete, and whether you're Jesper Bratt or you're Curtis McDermott, we've all got different levels of physicality, but the competitiveness and getting to the net and creating offense, it was just fun to be a part of and fun to get the win.
And then, sort of going off of that, one of the things that guys say, like a hit like you threw on Owen Tippett there, that's a contagious thing. Why are moments in games like that so crucial? And you, with the type of style that you play, are you like fully aware of what those moments can do for a team as a whole?
Yeah, obviously I hope he's okay. First and foremost, you never want to see anybody get hurt, but I think for my game and opportunities to be physical, opportunities to step up, it's not every game you're going to have the opportunity to have the right gap and the puck come at the right time, and there's so many different things that kind of go into it, to have a hit like that happen, and things worked out perfectly, the puck being there, the time of the game early in the second period. It's one of those things where it's part of my game. It'll always be part of my game. I enjoy that stuff, the physical aspect of it. I was really happy that we were able to respond and rack off some goals and ultimately get the win. But it was it was nice to have the guys recognize that and appreciate that stuff, because it's not always the easiest. But I enjoy it, and I'm just glad I can bring that aspect for us sometimes when it's needed in those types of games, because we're gonna have to find ways. We're gonna have to outskill teams some night. Philly's a really hard-working team, and they can play physical. From Travis Konechny right on down their lineup, they play that brand of game, and we proved to ourselves that we can play it too.
Bratter, yesterday was, there was the first period and then there was second and third. What other guys have been saying is like, that was us. That was who our identity can be when we need to play that way. What made that so successful for you, and how did you kind of feel about that?
Yeah, obviously we started already down in Philly with that game. We feel like they were kind of running our show a little bit during that game. We weren't emotionally and physically ready to play that game, and I think that when we came back here, we took a step. We talked about it. We were emotionally engaged in the game right from the get-go, and even if we didn't score a lot of goals or something in the first period, we still kind of set the tone right from the start. We were there, like I said, emotionally and physically in the game, and that's how we kind of just kept using our speed or instinct, and our emotion kind of helped us to take over the game.
Did it feel more, like, as you guys have sort of been trying to find that consistency in your game, did it feel more familiar to who you guys have been in the past?
Yeah, for sure. There was a full unit every single shift. Every line, every deep pair really contributed, and obviously Jaker was amazing in that. So special teams became a big factor, and when we are a full unit like that, every shift and every line, then we really become a good engine. So it was exciting. It was obviously we all felt in the group that during the periods and after the game that that's the kind of hockey that we want to play, and that's how we need to play to be successful.
And then, I think 4 or so games left before yet another break. I mean, what are you sort of looking for over this stretch of a week and a half here?
Well, it's
Only
really
one home game left.
It's really important games for us, especially with some games now on the road. It's gonna be a tough stretch for us, but it's really exciting. We coming off a good game, a good practice day today, and we're having a little bit of a breathing room with the day off tomorrow, and then another practice day to get to actually like really work on some stuff. I think there was a little span there where we just had to kind of rest and recover in between the games, and we didn't get a lot of practice time. So now to get some practices in and actually work on some details in the game is, I think, it's going to be very helpful for us. So yeah, it's an important stretch, and we got to keep on building.
Timing-wise, like this is that time of the year. You've played 50, 55 games where it can feel like it's really like a grind. So to have a game like last night where the temperature was hot from the start, was that like the perfect timing for a game like that? Did you feel like to raise the intensity level?
I mean, it's always great as a unit, like I talked before, when everyone really contributes to get that kind of a game. I mean, it really helps boost the team, and I think last night was kind of a game we needed. Like you said, we got some big goals, special teams, and everything came together. I think fans were awesome in the building as well and brought the energy. So that was kind of a game we needed to really boost us a little bit.
How pivotal was that hit by Dilly there, and just like what that does for a group?
Yeah, I mean he's such a big part of our team. He's such a great vocal guy and physical guy to our team, and I mean he steps up and makes great plays like that, and I mean it boosted us as a team to be more engaged too. So he really showed there from the start that he was emotionally engaged in the game.
You talk about that type of response, physicality, energy. Is that also what you were trying to sort of get out of today's practice as well? It looked like you...
Well, it's just, I mean, we've got a few days here before we play again. We're going to take tomorrow off and then have another practice before we head to Buffalo. But, the message is it's just one game yesterday. That's like we're trying to build something that's sustainable here. And I think if there's any lesson that we should take over what we've been through, to this point of the season, is that we can be a really good team. But we haven't been able to sustain it. We've been up and down and all over the place since we came back from Christmas here. So we've got a long ways to go. So a practice like today is, put your work in, do it again. Build the necessary mental and physical conditioning that you need to be able to be great day in and day out, and be hard and competitive and intense day in and day out. And it's hard to do. Like these practices the day after a game, they're not easy, not easy to get to mentally, to put in the work, especially in a game that required so much effort and physicality last night. But it's all about the process of our team learning and growing, I believe, and that's really what today was about, and making it a challenging practice. I mean, it was 38 minutes long. It's not too much to ask in that sense, but we knew it was going to be competitive and combative in lots of ways, because that's what we're trying to do is grow our mental and physical conditioning.
So is that kind of like a need to like develop that muscle memory in a sense?
Yeah, and recognize that's the standard. That's what we're looking for, to build something like I've talked about since day one of training camp. It needs to be sustainable over time, regardless of circumstance, schedule, opponent, injuries, whatever. That you've got a foundation in place that can overcome these situations. Last night was a great example of it. But we weren't able to do it the day before, and we'll see what next game brings. But we got to utilize these practice days because they're rare to be able to push and challenge the group this way. When the schedule allows it, you got to get the work in.
Pesh and Merce?
Just maintenance days for those guys. They'll be back on the ice on Saturday, I guess it is. We'll be back at it.
One of the things noticeable to me yesterday was like the commitment to get to the net front. Like obviously on the Bastion goal with the Tard there, but even on the Mercer goal, Nason's occupying a guy in front. Blatt's in a good spot in front. Do you feel like between that game and even some of the goals in Boston and Montreal that you're starting to see the level and the consistency of getting there that you'd like to see from guys? Yeah,
I think we've been pretty good in that regard. I don't have a lot of issues with our guys getting to that space. Even like the Palat goal, Bastion goal, power play goals, and simplifying the power play, just getting pucks there where we have them outnumbered and winning those battles. It was great to see. Yeah, the Nason standing his ground on Mercer's goal. That's a significant factor, to limit the goalie's ability to track that pass from Timo. So it's important, but I do think we've done a good job of that. There's the steps in front of that though that you got to be really good at, which is like the breakouts and the entries and the forecheck and all of these things. That's where we haven't been as good to have as many opportunities to attack the net. So it all is it's all connected, and that's really where we need to get really rolling. We got to stay connected in those areas.
As you look for that consistency that you mentioned, it's been lacking. Haven't won 4 in a row, and yet you have one of the best records in the league. So what does that say about what the Devils are and where you're at?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're able to, find ourselves, when we've slipped and get it back on track. But to your point, we haven't gone on a real good run, and I think a lot of that is, there's many factors that go into it. But I look at it, what I've talked about, with our group is, I think there's a mental conditioning piece of to do it every single day. And when I say every single day, that's the goal. That's not reality, but that's the goal. And when teams get on runs, you look around the league, there's always 1 or 2 teams that are on a real nice run, 5+ games. And we haven't had that. So we kind of get rolling in, me stub our toe a little bit and come back. And that to me is reflective of where we're at. I mean, standings are what they are. It kind of shows who you are as a team. We're in a good place. We're not in a great place. We're not where we'd like to be, especially you hone in on what we've done since Christmas, since coming back from the break. We got real excited about where we were at going into the break, but it shows how hard the league is, and how hard it is to sustain it. So we got to keep pushing here. We got another break, upcoming. We want to go into that one feeling real good about our game, and then we'll come out of it with some time to ramp back up again. But I'd love to see our team really, find some consistency here and get on a run. And, you can't always focus on the results. It's how you play and how you compete and all of that. Sometimes that's more important because it's helping you build that sustainability I'm talking about. There's lots of teams, as I said, go on really good runs that win, 5 to 10 in a row, and then a month or 2 later they seem to lose 5 or 10 in a row. So I like that we've been able to end some of our losing streaks and get back on track. Snap back into place real quickly coming out of that Philadelphia game to ensure we had a great effort to get 2 points in that back-to-back. So those things are really nice, but we've got work to do here, and I would like to see the effort of the guys last night. We got to stay with it here. It's going to be an everyday thing that we're going to have to stay on top of it.